The Ram 1500 is definitely a one-of-a-kind truck that captivates everyone with its incredible performance and the comfort that it offers. This fierce competitor of the F-150 has already been introduced and we already know all about it, including the specs, performance, and all the other metrics. And we could tell you that this will be a true game changer compared to the previous models in all the possible ways. So if you want to learn more about this model, stay with us while we learn how the all-new 2025 Ram 1500 wows everybody. Platform and configurations. Let's start our talk with the core of the truck, which is the platform and the available configurations that you'll get. The 2025 model is still based on the DT platform that was introduced in 2018. This is basically the 5th generation of this truck. The platform of this truck is still very much new, so there was no need to change it. However, the 2025 Ram Charger and Ram 1500 Rev models will be based on a heavily modified DT platform. This is the STLA chassis. The STLA is a platform intended for electric models. When it comes to the available configurations, the Ram 1500 model will come with plenty of different choices. When it comes to cab variations, these include the quad cab, which is an extended cab, and the full-size 4-door crew cab version. And what many people wanted was to have a 2-door regular cab, which unfortunately will not be present in the 2025 Ram 1500 because of the low demand. When it comes to the bed offerings, there will be an option to choose between the 5'7" and the 6'4" bed. The smaller bed will be available with both cabs, while the longer bed will only be available with a smaller quad cab. Powertrains. Now let's talk about powertrains. This is the area that is a major talking point when it comes to the 2025 Ram 1500. This is mainly due to the fact that with this truck, Ram replaced the Hemi V8 engine that it previously included. That's right, the good old Hemi is gone. The 5.7 liter was replaced with a new inline-6 turbo engine. This engine is known as the Hurricane and has a 3 liter in displacement. However, this news was met with some serious backlash from Ram owners, since there's no replacement for displacement. Later on, we'll talk about the towing and payload and we'll learn why this is the case. Nevertheless, when it comes to the 3 liter Hurricane engine, this is a very modern powertrain. It comes with the latest tech that is currently available, including turbocharging, direct injection, and other goodies. There are 2 variations of this engine, a standard output and high output version. The standard engine makes 420 horsepower and 469 pound-feet of torque, while the high output engine makes 540 horsepower and 521 pound-feet of torque. This is a pretty decent performance. One engine that was retained for 2025 is the 3.6 liter Pentastar. The Pentastar is the base engine that comes with the Ram 1500. This engine makes a modest 305 horsepower and 269 pound-feet of torque. Not a powerhouse by any means, but still a very reliable engine that can be pushed to great lengths. However, towing and payload are extremely poor when it comes to the 3.6 liters, so your best bet would be to go for the 3 liter Hurricane engine. Another very positive note when it comes to the 2025 Ram 1500 and its 3 liter Hurricane engine is the ability to tune this powertrain. Since this is a turbocharged engine, the tuning options will be excellent. This engine could easily push 600 plus horsepower with no major problems whatsoever. When it comes to the transmissions, the 8-speed torque flight will be retained for the 2025 model year. This is an extremely reliable transmission that has proven itself as a proper workhorse throughout the years of use. Although you might think that this is a Ram transmission, it's actually not. It is a ZF 8-speed torque converter transmission that is included in a bunch of other models right now, including many high-performing sports cars. So you get the idea why this transmission is the jack of all trades in the automotive industry at the moment. Overall, an excellent choice. There are 0 problems and the reliability of the transmission is extremely good. Towing and payload capacity. Now let's cover a very important topic, which is the towing and payload capacity. For those who don't know, towing and payload are the aspects that make a truck so great. If the truck is underperforming in this area, then you should definitely avoid it. And when it comes to the Ram 1500, things are pretty different compared to before when this model had the 5.7 Hemi engine. In other words, things got a bit worse because of the implementation of the 3 liter Hurricane engine. So the current model can only deliver a max towing capacity of 11,580 pounds. This number is slightly worse compared to the Ford F-150 and the Chevy Silverado, 2 of the greatest competitors of the Ram 1500. These trucks can tow up to 13,000 pounds. So this makes the 2025 Ram 1500 the worst of the big 3. That's why if you really care about towing, you should definitely upgrade to the Ram 2500 or possibly go for the Ford F-150 or the Chevy Silverado. However, the all-new 2025 Ram Charger will reportedly be able to tow up to 14,000 pounds, but this model will be a lot more expensive compared to the standard Ram 1500. In terms of bed payload, the 2025 Ram 1500 will be able to take a payload of 2,300 pounds, which is decent performance, but still a far cry compared to the Ford F-150. This model is able to take a payload of up to 3,235 pounds with its 3.5-liter V6 EcoBoost, which is quite a lot more compared to the Ram 1500 as well as the Chevy Silverado. Fuel economy. Fuel economy is another very important area, especially when it comes to full-size trucks. Gas prices are going through the roof, and many buyers are becoming more and more aware of this, so they want to avoid gas-guzzling trucks. Luckily for you, the fuel economy is one of the highlights of the all-new 2025 Ram 1500. The inline-6 engine that this model has delivers some really good MPG. Specifically, the base 3-liter Hurricane engine will give you up to 18 mpg in the city and 25 mpg on the highway. But the best performer in terms of fuel economy is definitely the HFE model with a 3.6-liter Pentastar engine. This model will give you up to 20 mpg in the city and 25 mpg on the highway, which is very good. Overall, the Ram 1500 is a decent performer when it comes to fuel economy and is definitely worth your attention. Exterior and interior upgrades. Exterior and interior design and functionality are probably the most important. The design is the first thing that attracts us to a certain model. A truck has to look good in order to be considered a viable option. Luckily for you, the Ram 1500 is a really good looker, especially the upper trim levels that offer tons of goodies and luxury. In terms of design language, there are no major changes for the 2025 model, both for the exterior and interior. Only minor changes are present in terms of refinement and improving the functionality. Trim levels. In terms of trim levels, the Ram 1500 is definitely one of the best around. This new truck has a plentiful lineup of trims, and they offer a ton of different options. The base trim that you can get is the Tradesman. This is a trim that is purely intended for work, and with this trim, you can even lack some of the most basic necessities such as power windows. That's why we would advise that you avoid it. Instead of that, you should check out the upper trims. The next trim in the lineup is the Bighorn, and the Bighorn is a trim level that'll offer you far more for a similar price. The trim above the Bighorn is the Laramie, and this truck is placed far above the Bighorn both in terms of features as well as price. But things don't end there. Above the Laramie, you have the Rebel, and this is a model for those who have a rebellious spirit and want to take their truck off-road. Above the Rebel, you have the Limited, a very premium trim level, and above the Limited, you have two more premium versions. These include the Limited Longhorn and the Tungsten. The Tungsten easily is one of the most luxurious and most expensive pickup trucks on the market right now. Pricing. When talking about pricing, let's list the prices of the all-new 2025 Ram 1500. The price is probably the limiting factor that makes or breaks a deal. The base Tradesman starts at $40,275, then the Bighorn starts at $45,180. Above the Bighorn is the Laramie. This model is far more expensive, starting at $60,000. Then you have the most expensive offerings. The Rebel, which starts at $64,490, the Limited, which starts at $74,450, the Limited Longhorn, which starts at $76,445, and the top trim, the Tungsten, which starts at $87,320. Overall, when it comes to the Ram 1500 and options, sky's the limit, so that's why we really love this model. Thanks for watching and see you next time.